All right, so compared to videos that I would normally want to make, this one's just going to be a little different because I'm going to talk about a very serious issue and how it relates to music in general, at least how I've been seeing it, and important ones at that. So the issue I'm going to be talking about is racial inequality, particularly in the form of black people being discriminated against every day, not only actively but also systematically. But it's an extremely serious issue, and with the color of my skin being white, I have the privilege of not knowing what that's like. I don't know what it's like to be hated by my own country. Everything for me, because I am white, has been laid out for me and attainable in my life. I have been very well off. While I've struggled a few times in my life financially, it's nowhere near as significant as the danger that black people face on a daily basis through almost every single social system, particularly with the police. And my stance on the police is just all cops are bad. Not necessarily that they are individually bad people, while there are for sure some racist ass cops. The system that they work for, the police system, is inherently and systematically racist towards black people. And there's absolutely no denying that. If you look at the facts, if you look at the statistics, there is a much higher chance of black people getting arrested for crimes that they did not commit than white people. And personally, even though I've only been pulled over once in my life, when I was pulled over, I did not fear for my life. And that is because I am white. I did not have to wonder if I was going to come away from that interaction unscathed. And it's very scary to see a system that is supposed to be helping people and seeing that it's only helping certain people, white people. And it is just an evil and awful system for anyone that's not white. And as far as how this ties into music, I have been listening to a lot of Childish Gambino lately, and his song, This Is America, is, in my opinion, by far one of the best songs ever recorded. Not only musically, like technically, but through its message and how he conveys it. And in my mind, there is no song that has to be paired with its music video as much as This Is America does. Because if you just listen to the song, you don't get the full picture of what's going on in the music video. So in my mind, they are one, and the song has to be with the music video to get the full themes and picture of the song. And to me, that song is just very impactful because of the production alone. Just the way it starts off as this cheery, kind of like cheery, uplifting song, like they're like Childish Gambino singing about how he wants to party and everything, and then all of a sudden you just hear a gunshot, and in the music video you see Childish Gambino shoot somebody. that the production completely switches to a savage and just abrasive style. And the switch is very, it's very out of nowhere. And he starts talking about how this is America, and then just goes on. And with this production style change, how it keeps switching back and forth, it's supposed to represent the, like, in my mind, it's supposed to represent living as a person of color in the country of America. Because while there are moments that are cheery and you may be thinking you're living your best life, then America comes and just completely fucks you with every single system within it and just shows you that it hates you. And again, I don't personally know what that's like because I'm white. But as far as the song goes, I believe this is what it's trying to convey. And I think it does a very good job of that, just because especially with the video, the violence that's committed is just out of nowhere. And the thing that I love about the music video is that while the focus is on Gambino, and he's in the center of the screen just dancing and moving around, if you look in the background, you see all these cop cars and people chasing each other with bats and stuff, and just complete and utter chaos going on in the background, because Gambino's trying to get you to look at him to not see the shit show that's behind him. And I feel like that symbolism is perfect when thinking about America, because it markets itself as this wonderful country where people are welcome and they're going to thrive. I mean, the idea of the American dream alone is where people come here and they just thrive, because that's what happens in America. But it's not. It's just not. There are people that get lucky, but for most people of color, it's not the American dream at all. That is just a false statement. And so I really like that imagery, because you see Gambino in the front trying to distract you from all of the shit that's happening behind him, kind of like shielding you from it. But if you look at what's behind him, you can just see the complete chaos that's happening on the screen. And so throughout the whole video, he's just dancing and moving around. And then occasionally, like when the beat switches back, he'll just like kill people. And then it's just brought back to reality, where America is this fucking awful place for people of color, which is a true statement. And it's just very harrowing, and it just grabs you and doesn't let go. And especially the very end of the music video is very good as well, because throughout the whole time you can see Gambino and he looks relatively happy. Like he's having a good time, like he's dancing, and I mean, I see it as he's dancing to distract himself as well. But you can see he's like smiling most of the time. But at the very end, you just see him running down a dark hallway with white people chasing after him. And he looks fucking terrified. He's fearing for his life being chased by these people, because that happiness wore away. And he has nowhere else to go but run, because it's an evil country for his race, and he has no choice but to fear for his life at every turn now and just keep running. And I think that music video, well, it's single-handedly the best music video I've ever seen, at least. I believe it's very relevant for our current climate. And it was released, like 3-4 years ago? Maybe 2. Either way, for this year and the events that have come to light in this year, namely in the brutal murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, it just seems like the messages that are portrayed within this video and song are very, very relevant to today. And I believe that everyone, I mean, I'm pretty sure most people have heard this song and seen the music video because it was super popular when it came out. But if you have not seen it, or it's been a while since you watched it, I would give it a rewatch. And I personally have the song on rotation right now. Not only because it's Gambino's best song, period, but because the meaning behind it and how it relates to our current climate. So, yeah, I mean, there's that, and I believe that's one of the best examples of a song portraying what it's to be like to put you in that headspace, to be fearing for your life in a place where you thought you were safe. I believe it's perfect in that capacity. And I just think Gambino's a genius for it. And it's an absolutely phenomenal song. Great video, very relevant. If you haven't seen it, for sure, watch it. Also, another song that I've been listening to is Fuck the Police by NWA. And this is much more on the abrasive side because rather than like just talking about the problems with the problems that people of color face in America, Fuck the Police literally just combats the police force as a whole, and each member just goes through talking about how much they hate the police, how they'd fuck up the police in a fight. I'm pretty sure Ice Cube talks about how without a badge and a gun, they're nothing. Like, they're just pussies. And it's just incredible. It's such a fucking great song. And for my personal political opinions and just opinions on matters of race in general as they've been going on, this song embodies at least my rage towards the police, just because I believe it's fucking unacceptable and all of them should pay. And yeah, that's just an amazing song too. The wordplay is great. Again, that's probably a song that almost everyone has heard because it was very, very famous when it came out. And NWA is a very well-known group, but that's also a wonderful song to listen to, especially considering our modern context. And I believe it's also a really good thing to listen to songs like that. Like This Is America, Fuck the Police, almost the entirety of Run the Jewels' new album, because while it is important to educate yourself, it is also very important to hear these themes and things over and over again, especially through music, because music is a medium that almost everyone uses and almost on a daily basis. I mean, in my case, I listen to music on the way to and from work, on the way to pick up my son. I am listening to music almost all the time whenever I get the chance. I love music and it makes me feel good. Listening to songs that I really like, it makes me feel good. And I feel like that's the case for most people. But it's very important to listen to these songs that don't necessarily make you feel good also, that point out the severe inequality within our country, because that's our reality right now. and it's been our reality for a long fucking time. And I believe that it's just very important now more than ever to listen to these songs, listen to these people's stories, and just keep the themes going. And one of my favorite artists, Denzel Curry, he released this amazing song, favorite song of the year, called Pig Feet, that is, in my opinion, kind of like a Fuck the Police Part 2. Because it takes that very abrasive route of, like, we've tried being peaceful. Now it's time to open the fucking gates and come out with guns blazing. And I think that listening to these types of songs is just very important, because it helps you keep these things in mind. Because especially for me, being white, it's easy to kind of lose the reality of these issues. Just get in the routine of your daily life, going to work, coming home, eating dinner, and then going to sleep. Like, it's easy to just get lost in the routine because I don't have to worry about that shit. And it's just easy to, just lose sight of it. But if you listen to songs like this, because like I said, I listen to music every single day, it will constantly remind you of the awful shit that's happening in our country. And while that doesn't sound like it would be a fun thing, it makes it better that these songs are genuinely good songs, because listening to them isn't a chore. It's very enjoyable. And it also, at the same time, reminds you of serious fucking issues that we have in our country and that need to be fixed, to encourage you to do what you can, just to be vocal about your opinions on it and other things like that. I just believe it's very important. I know this was a really messy video. I did not plan on doing it. It was more just a spontaneous, spur of the moment type thing. I didn't script anything, obviously. So I do apologize for the messiness of this video and also its length, but I just feel like it was an important thing that I needed to talk about. I hope you guys are all having a great day, and just leave a like and subscribe if you could, and I'll be trying to put out more content here soon, music or movie related. But have a good one.